I'm Shay and welcome back to my channel, Books with Shay. So it is a lot later than I normally come to you. It is about 1:10 p.m. right now, and I have a good reason, I promise. So this morning I got up and did my normal morning routine, and after I finished editing today's Vlogmas video that went up a few hours ago, I finished reading whatever I was reading, Crazy Stupid Romance. Like an hour and a half left or so to listen to it. And so I finished listening to that. And then of course I started Addie LaRue because I told you guys yesterday, because that's what I got last night, that my goal was to read it today, and today would be an Addie LaRue reading vlog. So I came down, I made my tea, had a little bit of coffee, made some breakfast, and the whole time I was just listening to Addie LaRue. And I was like, I'm gonna sit down and play a game and keep listening, and then I'll stop and do some physical reading. So I stopped and did physical reading, and before I knew it, it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon because I am so wrapped up in this story. So as I told you guys yesterday, I have never read anything by V.E. Schwab, and so this is my first kind of foray into her writing style, and I absolutely love it. Like, I understand where all the hype is coming from. And there are things, so I think I've told you guys this before, but if you're into the Enneagram, I am an Enneagram Type 4, and I feel like it describes me to a T pretty much. And so a lot of times I relate things back to, like, when somebody can't understand what I'm feeling or how I'm trying to describe something that I'm going through, I'll send them to some of the Enneagram resources to better understand like what I'm saying about how I feel and everything. And so I am reading this book, and there are some things that she is putting words to that are like emotions that I've had that I haven't been able to describe to anyone. And that feeling of being understood by somebody who you have never like met or crossed paths with is such a profound feeling. And it is like one of the main reasons why I really love to read. Like it's just, I don't know, it's like this beautiful like serendipity that only happens once in a blue moon, and I have found that in this book, and I love it so much. I would be shocked to death if it wasn't a 5-star read for me. So it's a 17-hour listen. I've been alternating between listening and reading. I am about 7 hours into the audiobook, so a little bit shy of halfway, and I am obsessed with it. I was scared taking on a book that was like so long to listen to or read, I guess, in one day. Like normally about 350 pages is my sweet spot for a single day. I think I told you guys that the other day. And this one is just over 450 pages. So I was nervous that I was taking on too much for a one-day read, but because I am so like engrossed in mainly, so the plot is good, but it's the character. Like I really love the main character. I really love the personification of the darkness in this. I think that is a phenomenal detail. Like it's so difficult, I feel, as an author to personify something while keeping it a thing, you know what I'm saying? So like I feel like either it is a thing personified and you view it as a person, or they try to personify it but you still view it as a thing, and she just barely blurs the edges between what is a thing and what is a person, and it is done just masterfully. I love it so much. And so I have heard mixed reviews. Like there are some people that love this and some people that hate it, but this is like right up my alley for like just a beautiful piece of literature. I love it so, so much. And so I'm going to keep reading it. I hope that it stays this good. I'm a little nervous because plot-wise, although I like the plot and obviously I'm still like engrossed in the story, and so it's good to me, I'm a little nervous because there are only a few ways I can imagine it going, and because of the tragedy that is like where this started, I feel like none of them can like make me happy, you know? Like I feel like, I don't think that's the point of this book, like to make me feel happy feelings, but I'm getting scared about what's going to happen, especially because I've never read of V.E. Schwab, so I'm like, is she somebody who like tears your heart out and rips it to shreds after you fall madly in love with the character? Like, I don't know, it's hard without spoiling it to say what my concerns are, but in the beginning of the book, the thing that happens or the curse that takes place, it's made very clear that there are only two things that can happen. Like, she can either live or she can like give her life to the curse. And so I'm like, neither one of those things, I don't know. I'm concerned. Long story short, I'm concerned. So let me go back and talk about Crazy Stupid Bromance, because Addie LaRue just took up the first 5 minutes of this vlog. But I liked Crazy Stupid Bromance. I ended up rating it 3.5 stars. All of the other ones were 3-star for me. This one got an extra half a star because there was some exploration of an estranged parental relationship, and the resolution that I thought was going to happen with the romantic relationship happened 3 or 4 hours before the end of the listening of the book. And I was like, what is she gonna do for the last 30 or 40% of this? And it actually, the majority of the end was exploring the familial relationship versus the romantic relationship, and it gave the book some unexpected depth for me, and so that got it an extra half star. But I still feel like it wasn't too, unless it has something that is triggering to you. There is mention of sexual assault and violence. There is mention of an estranged relationship with a father. There is mention of parental death. So there are some things that are in there that if they're triggering to you, it would take a lot away from the light and fluffy kind of aspect of it. But if those are not things that trigger you, I feel like overall, even though she grazes on some really heavy issues, it's not that heavy of a read. It felt like mostly a fluffy romance. And I think the way that she does that is because she really balances some almost slapstick kind of humor with the heavier subject matter. So there is a cat that I can't remember the name of right now, but it's like, I can't remember, but it's some like crazy, like a funny, I don't know. I can't remember. I wish I could, because now, you know, it doesn't make any sense. But it's a cat with a funny name that is really, really angry, that has a lot of human characteristics, and the main love interest of the story has a really like tumultuous relationship with this cat, and it makes some for some really funny pieces. Anyway, so I liked it. There has not been anything that I haven't at least liked a lot that I have read so far in the last few days. So I am excited, and I hope that this keeps going strong. What if I just like these books more and more until the end of VLOGMAS? That would be crazy. But anyway, I'm going to go and dive back into Addie LaRue because I am absolutely obsessed. Like, I love it so much. It's days like today that it makes me glad that we have like the tea that we unboxed in the morning, and we have Where to Bear and the book to open later, so that I know that you guys have content, because truly, truly all I want to do is read. And I know with a bunch of fellow book lovers, you guys understand what that feels like, but I feel like I could curl up in a reading chair and just work on this for the rest of the day. Unfortunately, today it's like a nice, pretty sunny day outside, but this is the type of day in Oregon that like, I wish that it was dreary and raining and I could turn the fireplace on and just like read. But either way, nothing is gonna stop me from continuing to power through this incredible novel. And then I will come back to check in with you guys in a little bit. Okay, so I am hopping in the car. I got a new gaming chair for my birthday, and the post office, like the street we live down, is really narrow, and sometimes FedEx or UPS or whoever decides like that they don't want to try to maneuver down here, and they'll mark the package as undeliverable, and then we have to go pick it up. So me and my friend Nick are going to go and pick up my package of my chair, and I bet you guys cannot guess what I'm gonna do while I'm in the car. You guessed, didn't you? I'm gonna listen to Addie LaRue. So I am almost exactly halfway through now. I have 8 hours and 22 minutes left to listen, and it is still so good. And I know the last clip was just me gushing about it, so you don't need me to come back in and tell you, but just in case you were like wondering, and in the 2 seconds that have passed you're like, does she like it less? The answer is no. I still like it just as much. So we're gonna run and pick up this chair. LT is on his way home from work, so that him and Nick can put the chair together, or him or Nick, I don't know, somebody's gonna put the chair together, and then I will be able to play my game and listen to my book in a new chair. So that sounds like a pretty good day to me. Okay, so I am back for an update. As you can probably tell, it is towards the end of the night. It's dark in the window right here and my hair is up. It seems to travel that way as the day goes on, but I just finished The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and I really, like, I want to be cautious in how I talk about it because I don't want to be like presumptuous or anything, but it definitely was a 5-star read for me, and it might be my favorite read of 2020 so far. It was so good to me, and I don't know, I'm gonna tell you what I really, like, the things I really liked about it. It's hard to have like a full out discussion on it, like, without spoiling anything, and I want to be careful not to do that because it's so new. So I feel like there are a lot of people that haven't had a chance to read it yet, but let me tell you why I like it so much. So if you've been here for a while, you probably know my favorite book of all time is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I really love the King Killer Chronicles series as a whole, or as a duology, because will the third book ever come, you know? And the thing that I really like my favorite thing about that series is Patrick Rothfuss, like, he has an ability to put words to emotion or feeling or idea or principle that you would never think that those words together would mean that thing. Like, you can't even think of words to describe the thing that he has put voice to, but as soon as he does, it's so simple that you're like, why didn't I think of that, you know? So there's complexity in just simple strings of words. I don't even know how to phrase it. If you've read it, you probably know what I'm talking about. And I feel like Patrick Rothfuss is the king of that. Now, I have never read any V.E. Schwab, and so, which I've said 18 times in this vlog. And so I don't know if this is like a her thing or a this book thing or what, but there were so many moments where things that were so simple in the text were so profound. Like, the idea of it was so profound. And I was telling you guys about how I am an Enneagram Type 4, and I'm thinking about looking it up and reading for you guys who don't know about the Enneagram or follow it or anything like that. I'm thinking about going and reading just the basic of like a Type 4 personality, but basically I often fall into like an existential crisis. Like, I feel like I have one a day where I'm like, oh my goodness, what is the meaning of life? Like, it's rough, and my sadness has no chill. Like, it's when I start spiraling, it's like really hard for me to come back. And so I will say that this book, like, the more that I got into it, the more I was like, what is the meaning of life? Like, but those are the types of books that I love, that it pulls into my real life. Like, it bleeds into the way I view situations in my real life and makes me ask questions that I would not have thought to ask before. And for that reason, like, this just crazy. It was crazy. So let me read to you about the Enneagram Type 4 so that you can understand kind of the type of, like, I can explain to you how books connect to this. And if you don't know your Enneagram type, I will put a quiz in the description below, and I would love to know your type. Like, if you go and take a quiz, like, I am obsessed with this. Like, I would love to know what type you are on the Enneagram. And also, while we're talking about things that I would love to know, Spotify Wrapped, like the Spotify Wrapped series thing is coming out right now where you can see what you listen to all year, and I would love to know who your top artist was or anything about your Spotify Wrapped in the comments below, because that's totally my jam. Love music and would love to know what you're listening to, on a side note. Anyway, so for Enneagram, so it says Type 4s are self-aware, sensitive, and reserved. They are emotionally honest, creative, and personal, but can also be moody and self-conscious, withholding themselves from others due to feeling vulnerable and defective. They can also feel disdainful and exempt from ordinary ways of living. They typically have problems with melancholy, self-indulgence, and self-pity. At their best, they are inspired and highly creative. They're able to renew themselves and transform their experiences. They want to express themselves in their individuality, to create and surround themselves with beauty, to maintain certain moods and feelings, to withdraw to protect their self-image, and to take care of emotional needs before attending to anything else, to attract a rescuer. So that is very much like for all of the good things that it is and all of the negative things that it is, that is very much my personality type. And because of my, I feel like it's not an affinity, but my draw towards melancholy, like I feel like like there is beauty in the sadness, and this book was so sad. Like but it was not, it was sad in the way of like the human experience. Y'all, I don't want to spend like, this is going to be like a 20-minute vlog and 18 minutes of it are going to be me gushing over Addie LaRue. If you haven't picked it up and you like books like I like, if you liked Name of the Wind for the same reason that I just said about like the words and the simple statements crafting into these profound ideals that you had never like even begun to fathom, then this is a good book for that. This is not like Name of the Wind at all. Like I wouldn't say the books are similar, but the reason why I like that was a big reason why this was a 5-star read for me. It was so good, like so good. Anyway, so I hated it, as you could tell. But yeah, so LT was gonna give me another book, and I told him, or asked him, specially requested, I was like, listen, I can't do another fantasy right now. I can't do another heavy anything. The lightest, fluffiest book that you have, can I have that today? And he looked in his little sack of books that he got for me, and he was like, I don't think there's anything that's going to help ease you out of the emotion of Addie LaRue. So we are going to run to Barnes & Noble really quickly and pick something up in order to be able to, because I know tomorrow I can't read, like I am still reeling. So we're gonna go on a little field trip, maybe grab some food or something, spend a little bit of time together, and I am going to, I don't know what the wallow, I don't know what, I'm just going to spend some time in the pocket of emotion that this book created for me, which like, that, like prime, pristine. If a book does that for me, like, absolutely. Even if the emotion isn't necessarily what people would consider like a positive emotion, if it really, really causes me to feel something, that is like great for me. So anyway, I am going to try to stop gushing, hop off. We're gonna run to Barnes & Noble really quickly, and then I will meet you back here for the daily bookish unboxing and Where the Bear. And then I'm gonna wrap up for the evening because it's already later than I would normally in the vlogs and start editing and stuff so that I can go to bed at a decent hour. But I was so wrapped up in this book, I was like, I have to finish. Like I've gotta make it all the way through. If you've read Addie LaRue, let me know. What did you think of it? Did you love it? I feel like it's not gonna be everybody's cup of tea, but it was like right up my alley. So yeah, I will talk to you guys in a little bit. Okay, so we just got back from Barnes & Noble, and they apparently closed at 7 tonight. I don't know why that is. And I cannot, for the life of me, get the lighting. There, you can see me a little better, I think. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and do our daily bookish unboxing. And as I said in the last clip, I'm hoping for something a little lighter and fluffier. I am encouraged because when LT brought it over, it does look to be shorter than what I just read. And so it will be a little bit of a reprieve. I do want to also make some disclaimers really quickly before I open this. I gushed and gushed about Addie LaRue in this video, but there are some things that I want to make sure I highlight. The first one is, it is a pretty slow book with very beautiful writing. So if you're somebody that does not like slow but very intricate, beautiful writing, then this probably wouldn't be for you. But I'm somebody who really loved like Name of the Wind, like I was saying, and Strange the Dreamer. Like slow books with beautiful writing don't really bother me. The second thing is I binge read it. I read it all in one sitting. So a good way, like binge reading covers a multitude of sins. Like if you take your time and read it over several days, then it's a lot easier to notice when a book is slow than if you are speeding through it. If you're speeding through it, then you obviously more quickly get through the slower parts. So I want to, and then also the end, I feel like ending is pretty polarizing. Like you're either gonna be somebody where it satisfies the story for you and you feel like it fits and it's good, or you're gonna be somebody that's gonna be like, how could she, you know? So, but that's with most books. Like you can't, if you could write the ending for every story, that would kind of take away some of the adventure and the experience and everything. So, but I want to let you know that I am saying that for my taste, it was a 5-star read, not that I feel that it was without flaws. So now that disclaimer is done, let's go ahead and open this up. My guess is contemporary romance because that's pretty much what I asked for, number one. And number two, the size of it. And it's definitely, as I popped the bow right off that I whined so hard about yesterday, it's definitely paperback. So let's crack right on into it. Now I'm all paranoid about ripping the paper because I accidentally ripped it yesterday. And like even on my birthday, everybody was like, just rip the paper, just hurry up and open it. Because I had more than one gift, so I'm sitting there slowly opening each thing and everybody's like, please, for the love of all things holy, just rip the paper. But you guys love me, right? You'll sit here with me while I slowly take each piece of tape off of this wrapping paper. Wow, how do I still have subscribers, honestly? Okay, we have the 12 Dates of Christmas. How funny. That's hilarious. I was like, I feel like I was like, oh, I was thinking of okay. That's so funny. I was like, I'm kind of in the mood for like the 12 Dates of Christmas or something because I had just heard about this. And like I said, these are ones that he bought before he like fully had my list. And so it's so funny that you purchased this. I was in the mood for this. How perfect. I'm so excited. It's like in the 350s, which is perfect because that's my sweet spot, is the 350 page contemporary romance that I can get through in a day. So this will be perfect for tomorrow. Great job, babe. Way to listen to my request. I still felt surprised, but it is the perfect fit. So now that we have unboxed the book for the day, I'm so excited about this. I'll obviously tell you what I think about it when I'm reading it tomorrow. And we are going to, did you have the bear already? Mm-hmm. Did you do it in the background of this shot? Somebody commented and was like, are we not gonna talk about LD hiding the bear at 10 minutes and whatever seconds last night? And I literally had no idea, like until I had to go back and watch it. But until I went back and watched the footage after the person made the comment, he literally is in the frame hiding the bear and I had no idea. So I was like, I'm gonna pay better attention today. Then I paid no attention, but I didn't see him go upstairs. So I'm gonna guess that it's on this level again. So let's go find a bear. Okay, so we're gonna start, hi, good girl. Okay, so we're gonna start over here on the tree, I guess. I don't have a treat or anything for you. You look like you're waiting on something. And I don't see it here. My guess is going to be that it's not anywhere on the mantle because that's where it was yesterday. Let's look on the coffee bar or in the water below the coffee bar. Don't see it. Up with the chip storage. Let's see. Oh, I see it. Good job, babe. These, you're getting pretty good with plain sight, but it takes me a minute. So here the little bear is perched in the windowsill next to my very dead basil plant and my tea plant. I don't know if I told you guys about this, but because I love tea so much, LT purchased a tea plant for me so that I can make, like, roast and brew my own tea. And then here in the middle are our little Christmas decorations. And here is the bear. Okay, using LT's arm as a tripod as I unwrap this bear so that we can eat it. How are you feeling about this portion of the evening?
I feel like my camera works a little tricky.
You should turn to you when you... Why are you making that weird face?
I don't know. It's just how my face looks, jeez.
How do I do that every time? Here you go.
I get the head and the body today.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That is all for today's reading vlog. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll be back tomorrow. We will see you then. Want to say bye with me?
Bye with me.
Oh, Jesus. Bye. Bye.